The night sky, once a canvas of twinkling stars, now flickers with an unsettling presence. Large unidentified drones have been spotted across 8 states, their shadowy silhouettes igniting fear and speculation. Since mid-November 2024, these mysterious aircraft have become a national enigma. Whispers of their presence spread like wildfire, fueling anxieties about who or what is behind these nocturnal flights. Are they harmless observers or something more sinister? The answer remains elusive, leaving many Americans deeply unsettled. The sheer scale of these sightings is unprecedented. Reports have emerged from states as far apart as California and New York, suggesting a coordinated effort. The drones, often described as being the size of small trucks, move silently through the night, their dark forms barely visible against the backdrop of darkness. Their presence has cast a long shadow over the nation, prompting urgent calls for answers. The unknown is a breeding ground for fear. As sightings continue, so too do the theories. Some point to hobbyists pushing the boundaries of drone technology. Others whisper of extraterrestrial visitors, their advanced craft defying earthly explanation. And then there are those who see the specter of espionage, a foreign power flexing its technological muscle in American airspace. The truth, as yet unknown, lies shrouded in mystery. But one thing is certain: these drones have shaken the nation's sense of security, forcing us to confront the unsettling possibility that we are not alone. Could these mysterious drones simply be the work of hobbyists pushing the limits of their technology? The answer, according to experts, is a resounding no. The sheer size and sophistication of these aircraft far exceed anything available commercially. These are not the small, buzzing drones often seen in parks and backyards. These are large, powerful machines, capable of carrying significant payloads and operating at high altitudes for extended periods. Timing and location further solidify the case against hobbyists. Sightings consistently occur at night, often in restricted airspace near military bases and other sensitive locations. These are not the actions of casual enthusiasts. The Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, imposes strict regulations on hobbyist drones, limiting their altitude, flight paths, and nighttime operation. The mystery drones blatantly disregard these rules, operating with impunity in areas strictly off-limits to civilian aircraft. The audacity of these flights suggests a level of confidence and capability far beyond the reach of even the most skilled hobbyists. These are not the clumsy maneuvers of amateurs testing their limits. These are calculated, deliberate actions executed with precision and purpose. The mystery drones move with a chilling competence, their movements suggesting a clear objective and an intimate knowledge of the airspace they violate. The possibility of hobbyist involvement is further diminished by the sheer number of drones involved. Reports suggest dozens, if not hundreds, of these aircraft operating across multiple states. The logistics of such an operation would be staggering, requiring significant resources and coordination. It is simply inconceivable that a loose network of hobbyists could orchestrate such a widespread and sophisticated campaign without detection. The idea of alien visitors has long captivated the human imagination, fueled by science fiction and our innate curiosity about the cosmos. Could these drones be evidence of extraterrestrial life, finally making contact after decades of speculation? While the possibility cannot be entirely dismissed, it remains highly improbable. Proponents of the alien theory point to the advanced capabilities of the drones, their ability to outmaneuver and outrun anything in the US arsenal. They argue that such technology could only be extraterrestrial, proof that we are not alone in the universe. However, this argument relies on a leap of logic, assuming that any technology we cannot immediately identify must be of alien origin. The question remains, why now? Why would this time in history would aliens feel the need to identify themselves? History is replete with examples of misidentified aerial phenomena, from weather balloons to experimental aircraft later revealed to have perfectly mundane explanations. While the possibility of extraterrestrial life remains intriguing, it should not be the default explanation for every unexplained aerial sighting. Furthermore, the behavior of the drones does not align with what we might expect from extraterrestrial visitors. If an advanced alien civilization were to visit Earth, it seems unlikely they would choose to do so by stealthily flying drones over military bases. One would expect a more overt form of contact, a clear demonstration of their presence and intentions. The alien theory, while captivating, ultimately fails to provide a satisfactory explanation for the drone sightings. It relies on speculation and assumption, lacking any concrete evidence to support its claims. While the possibility of extraterrestrial life remains an open question, it is unlikely that these drones are our first contact with beings from another world. The most plausible explanation for the drone sightings, and the one most concerning to national security experts, is espionage. In an era of escalating geopolitical tensions, the use of drones for surveillance and intelligence gathering has become increasingly commonplace. In recent years, it has been argued that the US has maintained an approach of appeasement to their enemies rather than confrontation with consequences. If true, this could be why the adversaries are taking such an aggressive approach towards espionage. These unmanned aircraft offer a low-risk, high-reward method for adversaries to gather information on sensitive targets without putting their own personnel at risk. The United States, with its vast military infrastructure and global network of allies, is a prime target for foreign espionage. The time seems right. Multiple wars and worldwide problems can divert attention since there are so many potential problems to resolve. China, Russia, Iran, and other adversaries are constantly seeking ways to gain an advantage, and drones offer a relatively inexpensive and effective means of doing so. Our leadership must be aggressive in communicating that their actions are inappropriate and they will face severe consequences if continued. The recent drone sightings, with their focus on military bases and other strategic locations, bear all the hallmarks of a coordinated espionage campaign. The drone's size, capabilities, and flight patterns suggest a level of sophistication beyond the reach of most hobbyists or criminal organizations. Their persistent presence in restricted airspace, often for extended periods, indicates a deliberate effort to gather intelligence. The potential consequences of such espionage are significant. Foreign powers could use the information gathered by these drones to identify vulnerabilities in US defenses, track troop movements, or even sabotage critical infrastructure. The threat posed by these drones is not theoretical, it is real and growing more sophisticated by the day. Section 5. Targets of interest, military bases and critical infrastructure. The drone's flight patterns paint well a disturbing picture, a calculated effort to gather intelligence on key US military installations and critical infrastructure. Sightings have been concentrated around military bases, particularly those housing sensitive aircraft and weapons systems. These bases, often located in remote areas, are seen as vulnerable to drone surveillance. Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, home to the Air Combat Command, has been a frequent target of the mystery drones. The base is responsible for developing and implementing air power doctrine for the US Air Force, making it a high-value target for foreign intelligence agencies. Naval Weapons Station Earl in New Jersey, a major munitions depot for the US Navy, has also reported multiple drone sightings. The base stores and maintains a vast arsenal of weapons, including Tomahawk cruise missiles and other advanced munitions. Compromising the security of such a facility could have devastating consequences. Beyond military targets, the drones have also been spotted near critical infrastructure, such as power plants, dams, and communication networks. These facilities are essential to the nation's economic and social well-being, making them attractive targets for sabotage or disruption. The drone's focus on these sensitive locations is no coincidence. It suggests a deliberate effort to map out US defenses, identify vulnerabilities, and assess response capabilities. The information gathered by these drones could be used to plan future attacks, disrupt military operations, or cripple critical infrastructure. Section 6. Unveiling the culprits. The challenges of drone identification. Identifying the culprits behind these drone incursions is a complex and challenging task. Unlike traditional aircraft, drones are small, difficult to track, and often operate autonomously, making it difficult to establish a clear chain of custody. Their relatively low cost and ease of acquisition further complicate attribution, as they could be deployed by a range of actors, from nation-states to terrorist organizations. One of the primary challenges is the lack of a centralized database of drone signatures. While efforts are underway to develop such a system, it remains a work in progress. This lack of readily available information makes it difficult to quickly identify the make, model, and origin of a suspect drone, hindering efforts to track down those responsible. Furthermore, the drones themselves are often heavily modified, making identification even more difficult. Sophisticated adversaries can easily disguise the origin of their drones, using off-the-shelf components and custom software to obscure their tracks. The transient nature of drone flights adds another layer of complexity. Drones can appear and disappear quickly, leaving little time for authorities to react. By the time a drone is detected and identified, it may have already completed its mission and returned to its operator, leaving behind little more than a fleeting glimpse of its presence. Section 7. Government response, investigations, and countermeasures. The US government has been slow to respond to the growing threat of drone incursions, but recent events have spurred a flurry of activity. The FBI, in conjunction with the Department of Homeland Security and the Federal Aviation Administration, has launched a nationwide investigation into the drone sightings, seeking to identify those responsible and assess the extent of the threat. Lawmakers, alarmed by the potential national security implications, are demanding answers and action. Congressional hearings have been scheduled to grill intelligence officials on what they knew about the drone flights and what steps are being taken to counter the threat. The pressure is mounting on the government to demonstrate that it is taking the threat seriously and has a plan to address it. In the meantime, efforts are underway to enhance drone detection and countermeasures. Military bases and other sensitive locations are installing sophisticated radar systems, optical sensors, and even trained birds of prey to detect and track unauthorized drones. The Pentagon is also exploring a range of technologies to disable or neutralize hostile drones, including directed energy weapons, jamming systems, and even nets launched from patrol boats. However, these countermeasures are often reactive and piecemeal, struggling to keep pace with the rapidly evolving threat. The proliferation of drone technology has outpaced the development of effective countermeasures, creating a dangerous gap that adversaries are all too eager to exploit. Section 8. A climate of fear, public reaction, and calls for transparency. The drone sightings have unnerved the public, fueling anxieties about privacy, security, and the government's ability to protect its citizens. The lack of clear answers from authorities has done little to quell these fears, leading to speculation and conspiracy theories. Social media has become a hotbed of discussion and debate, with some users expressing alarm and others dismissing the sightings as nothing more than hype. The hashtag #DroneMystery has gone viral, with millions of users sharing their thoughts, theories, and even alleged sightings. The lack of transparency from the government has only fueled public distrust. Many Americans are frustrated by the lack of information about the drones, their origins, and their purpose. They feel left in the dark, wondering what the government knows and why it isn't sharing more information. Calls for greater transparency are growing louder, with lawmakers and civil liberties groups demanding that the government be more forthcoming about the threat posed by these drones and the steps being taken to address it. They argue that the public has a right to know what is happening in their skies and how the government is protecting them. Section 9. Looking ahead, the future of drone security and surveillance. The drone sightings of 2024 serve as a stark reminder of the evolving threat landscape and the challenges of securing our airspace in the 21st century. As drone technology continues to advance, becoming smaller, cheaper, and more readily available, we can expect to see more of these incidents in the years to come. The challenge for governments and security agencies is to adapt to this new reality, developing effective strategies to detect, track, and neutralize hostile drones while respecting the privacy and civil liberties of their citizens. This will require a multifaceted approach, encompassing technological innovation, international cooperation, and a robust legal framework governing the use of drones. The private sector also has a crucial role to play in developing and deploying counter-drone technologies. Companies are already working on a range of solutions, from detection systems to jamming devices, and their expertise will be essential in staying ahead of the threat. The drone sightings of 2024 have been a wake-up call, forcing us to confront the vulnerabilities of our airspace and the need for a comprehensive approach to drone security. This, the first time in our history that threat to our homeland could be imminent. In this period, we need strong leaders that will confront our adversaries and be firm in the consequences that will occur should they plan a significant attack on US soil.